What is good, people of the world? This is your host, Isaiah Haney. This is the Game Time Gazette, your one-stop shop for all things sports. I'm glad to have you guys back on another day with me here today. You know, we have NBA playoffs started off this weekend. NHL playoffs started off this weekend. We had Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney playoff this weekend. Finally, after, covering it for a few months, we finally seen the fight. And what a fight it was. What a fight it was. Better fight than I expected. We also had a lot of European football happen, and El Clasico happened this weekend. The Premier League continues to get tighter and tighter. Manchester United had just historical collapse. There's a lot of things to talk about. So let's start it off with the fastest 180. Without further ado, let's go.
James, I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
And to start off this fastest 180, we joined the F1 grid in China, where they just had the fourth or fifth round of the season. Max Verstappen, you can guess, won the fight. What fight? I mean, it was not even close to a fight. He won by a lot. I mean, the whole weekend. First, you had the sprint. Max was behind. He was like 8 for the qualification of the sprint. Brother got into first within 4 laps. 9 laps or something. 9 laps. Something like that. Some crazy amount. Won the race by 20 seconds, as you can guess. Lewis Hamilton being able to bring a tractor of a Mercedes from in that rainy weather, being able to put it in second place for the sprint, not being able to do much after that. Ended up in the weekend after the race, I believed he was 8th. He's just having fun out there trying to leave until Mercedes really just disappointing this year. Everybody else just really disappointing this year. F1 really a disappointing sport this year. Hard sport to watch. I mean, just Max Verstappen winning doesn't entertain anybody, bro. It doesn't entertain anybody. And I know the Red Bull fans might say, you can't tell me you watch every race. You can't tell me that. I haven't watched the race since probably the second, third race that I haven't watched a race in a while. I'm not watching one in a while. Because it's like, Max, I'm not going to watch it until I see some more competition from the other racers. Like, Max can win. Cool. But there's no race. It's just Max up there with a rocket ship. Okay, next up, we got the Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney fight. Man, this fight here was one that surprised me because I did not expect Devin Haney to lose the way he did. Obviously a lot of people have their opinions about the referee and how he stepped in and all those different types of things. But honestly speaking, truly speaking, yeah, there was just a difference in, what the two fighters wanted to do. Devin Haney wanted to, obviously just be methodical, get those points, doesn't have knockout power, so get those points and move it on to the decision, be able to get a decision win. Didn't really have too much chances to really get a knockout there in that fight, but Ryan Garcia was trying to prove a point. Knocked down Devin Haney in the first round, then did it 2 more times officially. In the later rounds, he did do a few more unofficial ones that people are counting as knockdowns there. But hey, the ref did not get involved that early when Haney got hurt there, I believe in the 8th, 9th round. I don't know if Haney would have been able to stay alive. He has a chin on him a little bit, but he was getting wobbled. Okay, as the bell is going off, last but not least, I wanted to get off to the NHL playoffs. This is going to be an all-NBA episode, but in the NHL playoffs, we got some great matchups. I mean, we seen the Winnipeg Jets against the Colorado Avalanche. I mean, one of the best sports games I've ever seen in my life. 7-6 was the score for the Jets. Hockey playoffs is the best playoffs, is what a lot of hockey fans are saying. I gotta dedicate a whole episode to this, but with playoffs coming on along right now, we're just doing playoff episodes. So as we finish up the fastest 180 right there with just the NHL and talking about the Jets and, other great games. Maple Leafs lost to the Bruins. Shake my head, Leafs shake my head. I'm from Toronto. I'm an honorary Canadian, so I'm a Canadian. I want the Leafs to win. Shake my head, Leafs. But I will be doing a bigger episode for hockey as we continue on. But today, as I said, it will be an NBA episode. Let's start it off with, the first game that we really want to talk about right now is the Orlando Magic against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I believe that started off the playoffs. I'm not too sure on which was the exact one. I can't remember it now, but I believe that was the first game to start off the playoffs. And what a game it was. Low scoring game, but we did see a lot of defense, a lot of interior scoring there from a lot of young guys. Mobley had a great game. Jared Allen had a great game. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell had a great game, right? Pablo Banchero really showing that he's that dude. You think about him and you think that he was drafted like 5 years ago. He was drafted last year. Was able to tie the rookie record for the Orlando Magic for the first playoff game with Shaq. I believe it was 28 or 24, one or the other. And he had a great game. I'm expecting the Orlando Magic to come out with a little bit more force in this second game. A trend that we did see in this weekend was not only home teams winning, as home teams went 16-0 in the playoffs for this NBA to start this NBA playoffs, right? Or I think the 16-0 was in all sports, not even just NBA playoffs. So we're talking NHL, NBA, all those playoffs really had the home teams really come out and set a statement to start off the playoffs, which was nice to see. And the Cleveland Cavaliers started it off, right? But the trend that I was talking about was that the young teams for the NBA that we've seen just really, obviously, an experience factor. If you don't know, obviously this is where you come to the Game Time Gazette to listen, right? So in the NBA, MLB, NHL, any type of playoffs really, right? It's all about experience. And when somebody says experience, they mean how do you handle the moment, right? All these NBA players, especially all the ones that are in the playoffs, they're all pretty good, right? They wouldn't be in the playoffs if they weren't, right? So for the younger teams this year that are the really good teams, so the Orlando Magic, they were 4-5, right? They able to get a great record, 4-5, right? And OKC Thunder able to get the second seed, the first seed. Sorry. Then you see the Minnesota Timberwolves as well, third seed. All really high seeds, not relatively high, really high seeds. And you've seen them handle the moment much better than expected at times, and certain players as well. Like when I'm talking about Paolo Banchero, when I'm talking about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, when I'm talking about Anthony Edwards, those guys stepped up to the moment. They did have pieces around them that did step up as well. Looking at like Naz Reid from Minnesota Timberwolves, he had a great game for the Minnesota Timberwolves against the Suns. Also talking about like Jaden McDaniels, right? That whole thing defensively, just on Kevin Durant and everything. Kevin Durant wasn't missing at all, bro. He was balling. So that defense was a great help. Then you're looking at the OKC Thunder, right? In a close game against the Pelicans, Shai was able to just get above that, play above that, able to put his team on his back. Also seen a great game from another another piece around him in Jalen Williams, where he just did great to be able to just elevate the rest of the team in such a close game as well. Handled the moment great, and like just looking at all those things, like when experience is talked about in sports, right? It's all about how are you able to handle the moment? How are you able to get better in this pressure moment? If everything isn't set up for you to win, are you still going to be able to do it? Right? All these questions that are asked, like your effort level, your your ability to transcend the noise, your ability to play above the crowd. Like, it's just that's all experience. Somebody that's done it once or twice, able to just, okay, this is how I didn't do it last year. Let me try it this year. Let's see if I do it better. Right? And then if you've done it like 10 times already, you probably have that one thing that you do where it keeps you focused, keeps you in check, where you're not off your game. So for these young players to come in and really impact the game the way they have, it's really showing that it's the next era it's the next generation of the NBA, right? Because we're coming into this new one where we're looking for the new face of the league, LeBron and KD and Steph and all these other guys that we grew up watching. They're getting older. But the younger guys that are coming in now, they're coming in so hungry and so ready. Paolo Banchero was drafted last year, had 28 in his first playoff game. They did take the loss, and you attribute that to, I'm gonna take it all to their team. As a team, the ball movement wasn't there for me as much as you'd like it. Defensively, obviously allowing the Cleveland Cavaliers to get easier looks. Obviously, when you're versing another team and your field goal percentage is 44% and yours is 32%, you're gonna lose, right? Not converting enough of the opportunities. Cleveland being able to get big body and out rebound you. That's what it just takes in a playoff game that's this close, this low scoring, these little small things, right? Like points in the paint. Cleveland beat them by 12 points in the paint, and just keeping that, 5 more assists Cleveland had, right? It's where we're looking at all these different things, and it's the little things, because it's marginal things that make you win or lose in the playoffs, right? With all these things being said, I'm gonna have to break down, a few of these, playoff games, like, frame by frame, play by play. Probably gonna do a fourth quarter, just when it starts getting, 2-3 games into the series, and I start seeing a little bit more trends. Okay, this is how they're playing, right? That's really all I was doing last night, and all weekend, really seeing how all these teams are going to be playing each other. The Mavericks Clippers, really disappointing one there. How do Mavericks bet on that one? Right? But again, it's just you're seeing how they're going to play against one another, right? Honestly, today's episode, I don't want to just come up here and talk some foolishness. I really, really didn't have too much to say. Exam times and everything coming up as well. But I wanted to be consistent, and I wanted to be consistent with you guys. But I'm just going to let you guys know now that this summer, we're going to expand a lot more. We're going to get a lot better as well. Just talking. We're going to do more interviews, some player interviews, hopefully get some, Canadian university students interviews out here, university athletes, get some interviews out there. Also going to be doing, just like I just said, in-depth analysis as well. I apologize for the episode length tonight. I really do. It really is exam time here, and I'm really trying to prepare everything for you guys to be perfect. But the playoffs did just start as well. I feel like Wednesday's episode, Wild Takes Wednesday is always the best episode of the week. Monday, mundane, so it's okay right now. But trust me, guys, trust me. This is not gonna be, a regular thing. This is really just, I'm really, I don't want to put out garbage for you guys. You know what I mean? That's why I started off the episode with really, but gotta do the best with what I have. Not even able to, not even in my own, in the regular studio that I record at right now. So this is really off an improvisation, but to God be the glory, because you know what? Despite challenges and this and that, you still listen today. I still made this episode today, and we still learned something about the NBA today. Despite it not being the best I could put out, we still talked. We still talked today, and that's the most important thing. You know and I know that this will be the best podcast in the world. And I thank you for having that patience with me. I thank you for taking the time today to just hear me out, listen to my words about sports for this little 20 minutes that we've had together. And when I'm back on Wednesday, it'll be the biggest and best episode you guys have ever seen. So without further ado, thank you so much. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. Remember, Jesus ain't have to love us, but he still did. Have an awesome day. God bless you. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.